Welcome everybody to Smart Money. Today I'm hanging out with Max Convexity and we're going to be going over some amazing topics for you guys. Now, once again guys, we are live and if you want to join the stream, just click the link in the first pinned comment. And today we're going to get to our first topic is going to be advertising like we did last week. But this one we go over some more food. So here's a very good Instagram channel. Oh, actually, my bad. Would like to introduce yourself, Max, to the audience?
Hey, what's up? Hey, you're kind of muffled. You're kind of muffled. I can't understand. Hey, my name's Max, but you're kind of muffled there behind that Halloween mask. Or what are you cosplaying? Are you cosplay? Or is this cosplay, or what is this? We used to do Halloween when I was a kid, but we didn't do cosplay.
Yeah, I'll just switch to this right here. This won't a whole lot easier too.
All right.
First off, guys, why is advertising so important? Because one thing is we're all on social media. We're all on YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever pick your poison, right? I think when it comes to one of the easiest ways to advertise is people already know what it is and it draws you in immediately. So I found some good barbecue Instagrams to show you guys that instantly draw you guys in. We got some comments coming in. What the hell is going on out there? Oh, hey, look at the mask. Got some people to come in.
Welcome.
Thanks for making the stream, and
thank you very much.
Thanks for making it. Okay. So first topic, guys, we're talking about delicious barbecue. Why? Because barbecue is easy to communicate. Like when you're showing off say you're at a food restaurant, and most restaurants that I see, they don't have like pictures on their menus. I think this is an easy way. You put like a QR code on your menu, and then people can, scan it, and then like, oh wow, this is how the ribs look like. This is how, what restaurants do you like to go to that show us some good foods?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
What restaurants you like when they have advertised their food really well?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, Andre. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I don't usually use Instagram for eating. I don't follow foodies. But I do. I follow YouTube for financial stuff, and that's how I met you and Coach and everything. But then I follow follow Instagram for social type stuff, and I follow like girls. I mean, and like people that dance, entertainment. I don't mean like that. I don't mean like, I'm not talking OnlyFans. I just follow like just funny stuff. I mean, Instagram's my comedy relief, my funny animal videos and stuff. I never really thought about advertising on there, but yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's one of the best places to get people to watch stuff because YouTube and Instagram are a little bit longer form videos. But like I just tell people, like to me, if you get into a restaurant or like open your eyes up to like fun stuff to look like this monster burger right here.
Now I do like a channel called Sam the Cooking Guy. I do watch cooking channels. I just don't watch any restaurant channels. But Sam the Cooking Guy is really good. He shows how to make smash burgers. It just reminded me of it.
Ooh, that's a good burger right there. I don't know if I can finish this myself though. Maybe. This is hard, maybe. But even if you do finish it, you're probably going straight to sleep. Here's one we showed last time. I thought one of my favorite barbecue channels. And once again, like when I look at their Instagram, so many people, it's like, how much does it cost? Where is it located? They have an amazing engagement when it comes to their Instagram, which leads, I would say this. If I was following them on their social media, they should make a YouTube channel. I think a bunch of people would love to watch like a 5-10 minute video.
Yeah.
Of how to cook something like this.
Oh, hell yeah. No, that's cool. Have you, after this is over, check out Franklin's Barbecue. See if they have that's a famous barbecue place here in Austin. Let's see what their Instagram presence is like.
Yeah, we'll check it out right now. Here.
It's called Franklin's Barbecue. And it's been on the Food Channel. It's world famous. People get there at like 8 a.m. because they run out of brisket. They open at 10, and by 10:15 they're out of brisket. But there's lines there, and they're open 6 days a week, and it's just insane. I've never been. I've just heard about it.
This right here, Franklin's Barbecue.
Franklin's Barbecue. Yeah. I mean, is it in Austin, Texas? Yeah, that's it. I was just wondering how it looks. Because it's been on the Food Network. That's the world famous. And actually people from Austin think this other place is better, but whatever, it doesn't matter. But
ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be, when I was in the Air Force, I used to live in Texas, and I'll say Texas got the best fried steak. Like, hands down, I've never been to a place that has better fried steak than Texas.
Oh, really? What town in Texas?
Near what's the name of the near Lackland Air Force Base.
Fried steak. Okay, check this one. Here's a place that people love. It's called it's a barbecue place. Also, they have an Instagram presence. I like this place. It's called Valentina's, and what it is, it's Tex-Mex, but they mixed. Well, it's barbecue, but it's barbecue and Tex-Mex together. It's Tex-Mex barbecue, and I know it sounds weird. I have been to this place. This place is delicious. So anyway, I'm looking on my computer, but you might want to show everyone on your computer.
What's it called? It's called Valentina's.
It's hang on. It's called Valentina's Tex-Mex Barbecue BBQ. Valentina's Tex-Mex BBQ at Instagram. I guess I'll put it in the link.
Yeah, send the link in here, and I'll click it up right here. And remember, guys, we are live, and thank you for making it.
Thank you very much.
And welcome. And if you want to jump on, guys, and talk with us, just look at the first pinned comment, and you guys can join with us and have some fun.
I put it in the public chat. I probably should have put it over here, but
let me see public chat. Oh, I see it. Here you go.
Anyway, maybe some. But anyway, this is a. In fact, whenever Seth Rogen's in town, he eats in this place. In fact, if you look at Seth Rogen's Instagram, that's probably what's more important for advertising any type of restaurant, especially in a town like Austin or Nashville or Miami, is getting a celebrity to start eating there. If Joe Rogan's eating there, then people might want to go in. But anyway, Seth Rogen loves this place, and people say that this is better than that Franklin's place. People say this is the place to go, but Franklin's is, people fly in from New York and stuff to go to Franklin's. I mean, Franklin's is legendary, but people say, but so's this place. I've never been to Franklin's.
I'll say just off the advertising, if I was in Austin, Texas, and I'm scrolling around, like on Yelp and stuff, and I'm like, okay, what's some good restaurants? I would probably definitely come here because you're talking about you can just feel how juicy these steaks are.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You can't get a bad meal in Austin. There's 3 good restaurants in every corner.
Look at that. Tex-Mex. Oh,
no, that's really good. It's like they use it's a fusion. It's not Asian fusion. It's a fusion of barbecue, it's so Texan, and then Mexican, which is Tex-Mex.
Ooh, we got some comments coming in. Yep,
okay, you want right.
You
come to town and I'll take you to that. You come to town and I'll take you there, Andre. Or when
if we do another meetup again, I think Texas would be a good spot. If we can get some steak barbecue like this would be really good.
That's one of the first places I take you. Yeah, there's also a place called Tyson's Tacos. That's the second place I would take you. But yeah, those are the places to be, man. But I just never really think about looking at Instagram when I'm thinking of a place to eat is all I meant. Not that you can't, but it's, it's a way to do it. It's.
Ooh, look at those ribs. I just feel like when it comes, because we're seeing this from the tasty food perspective and also a business standpoint. And I think, guys, if you're going to start a business or do something investing wise, and you're selling to the public because you're selling something physical, start an Instagram. Get a high, 4K or a high, grade camera, and just look at other competition and try to make your pictures really interesting. Because for me, if I was getting into a restaurant, I would have an Instagram like this, where people are just like, "Oh my gosh, that looks good." Really, really, really good. Oh, I'll take the next one. But I got another topic for you guys outside of barbecues. I know I'm making you guys all hungry. This is one of the most popular YouTube channels out there. That for me, I think is one of the best ways that communicates how to bringing an audience off of a goal. This is called SB Mowing. SB Mowing, we're going to check out some of their YouTube shorts. If you check out the YouTube short, it is absolutely crazy. So here, we'll play this first one. Audio a little bit high. You guys are going to love this stuff. Watch this YouTube short.
I was doing some work today in the area and I drove by and I saw your lawn was getting a little bit long. I was wondering if I could cut it and clean it up completely free for you.
Really?
Yeah, I'll do it for free.
Okay. I think I have seen you on TikTok.
That's cool.
Hey everyone, this is Spencer with SB Mowing, and as I was working down the street, I saw this yard getting super overgrown. So I went up to go knock on the door to see if I could take care of it completely free for the homeowner. She was so appreciative because she just moved into this house and she hasn't been able to get a mower yet. So I told her I'd get looking brand new for her and spent the entire day completely transforming her yard. In the middle of my work, she had to go help somebody clean their house, so she came out and gave me a thank you note and a bunch of snacks and drinks just in case she didn't see me when I left. People rarely do this for me, so I thought I'd give her a huge surprise when she got back. So be sure to click that follow button for me because I'll be posting the surprise tomorrow and her awesome reaction to it. And it's the best way to support this work that I do, and it really helps me to get out and do a lot more. I hope you have a great day, everyone. If you want to check out the full transformation, go click the link on my profile.
Now, guys, this right here is an amazing YouTube short. We got 1.1 million views, nearly 5,400 comments. And like, I just tell people, like, when I see YouTube channels like this, it absolutely blows my mind that one, he does it for free, goes to people, help him out in their area, and then the audience goes bananas off this stuff because they're like, wow, this guy does such an amazing job. Remember, this is just a YouTube short. He has a full link on, full video on this channel. But like, Max, like, how would you use this? Like, is this a great way of like advertising your business?
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, he could have also. I'm not trying to just rain on your parade and take the opposite side to everything, but he could have also done it just to be a good guy and not Instagrammed it. Yeah, he's going to make tons of it because it's all about getting the clicks. The clicks are more valuable than anything else. And yeah, and I don't know what his primary business is. Is he a lawn care guy? Yeah, maybe people will hire him for his primary business. Yeah, it's a good technique. I'm just giving you a hard time.
But I would say, like, you start looking at this channel, guys. One, if you see it from a business standpoint, guys, we're talking about nearly 800,000 views off of a 22-minute video. That's crazy high. And like posted 6 days ago. So for people talking like, if you're starting a business or getting into whatever, when it comes to money, this is a great way to advertise your business, do it for completely free, and also get paid on the back end when it comes to YouTube.
Yeah, it's all about that viral advertising.
Yeah, this one's a really good one, guys. Here.
I saw your lawn was getting kind of long. I was wondering if I could help you out and cut it for free for you.
Yeah, that would hurt my soul in the best way. I've been struggling because my sister does it typically for me. Her lawnmower, the gasket broke and it rained into it. And so I've been trying to find a way to get it done because I don't have a mower.
Yeah, and once it gets this tall, it's kind of tough to get it back to where it was. I'll try to get it looking the best it's ever looked for you.
That would be amazing. I'm going to go cry a little bit.
Hey everyone, this is Spencer with SB Mowing, and I found this crazy overgrown lawn and knew I had to clean it up. I knocked on the door with no answer, so I spoke with the neighbor to see if anybody lived there. They told me that somebody does live there but isn't home much. So I came back many times over the next 2 weeks until I finally saw a car parked in the driveway. I quickly hopped out my truck and knocked on the door. The lady living there has had a rough patch lately and the lawn got completely out of control. Her sister usually helps with the lawn, but her mower broke, leaving them with no equipment. So be sure to click that follow button to best support my work. And if you want to check out the full transformation, go click the link on my profile.
Now, guys, this is not complex. Like, if you watch his videos, he has like a tripod and like puts his cell phone on a stand and just records. I think that anybody can do this. Like, I mean, if you got some mowing equipment, go to Lowe's or Home Depot, set yourself up. This is like, to me, this does better than my own channel. Like, when I'm looking at like how I can improve my own channel, I look at stuff like this. I'm like, one, we're talking about easy communication. We see an overgrown lawn. I'm going to fix it for free. Shows, if you look through the video, guys, you see him like this fast forwarding.
Somebody lived there. They told me that somebody.
So we're not talking about complex editing. Not, we're talking about very simple stuff. And he garners a massive audience off this stuff. Like this right here, 1.7 million, 8,400 comments. Like, imagine that, Max, on your channel, getting that many views on one video.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm not really going for views. I'm going
Yeah.
for quality, not quantity. I want that kind of engagement. I don't care about the numbers, but I hear you. It would be cool.
It'd be, I mean, wild. It would be like on YouTube trending.
I was thinking about just cutting the yard for him, yeah. Just because it was kind of getting crazy, you know? Is there a sidewalk running to the corner?
No.
You don't think there's a sidewalk there? Okay.
There's definitely a sidewalk. and here. And here.
Hey everyone, this is Spencer with SB Mowing, and I had multiple neighbors and also the owner of this home tell me that they had never seen a sidewalk here. So I spent the next 15 hours completely uncovering it and proving them wrong. And this has to be one of my most labor-intensive jobs, as the sidewalk was covered in multiple inches of dirt and removing it took around 50 wheelbarrows full. So my body felt like jello the next day. But everybody was shocked with the result, to say the least, and it completely transformed the look of the home and the entire corner. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to click that subscribe button down below for me, as this is the best way to support this work that I do. And if you want to check out the full transformation with the awesome before and after photos, go click the link on my profile.
Another good one. But you guys get the concept. I think it's a great way to advertise. This one really, like, I see why you talk to this type of individual. I know he's doing it to help out, but you can feel the connection he gets from the owner.
So I can mow all this.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'll do the entire back or whatever you need. I'll do it for free. I won't charge you a penny.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I'll get it looking like a whole different property. Does that sound good?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I just got done with one where the grass was about this tall. It was taller than I am. Yeah. So this isn't even that bad. I'm going to get this looking like you've never seen it look before.
Hey everyone, this is Spencer with SB Mowing, and I got a call from a friend at the city, and she told me that there's an elderly lady that is in desperate need of help. So I stopped by her house, and her lawn was getting crazy. And unfortunately, it's been getting so tall that the city had to give her a warning for her grass and was going to charge her $240 to cut it, which she couldn't afford. So I told her I would completely transform her lawn for free, and she was in tears because she was so happy. So be sure to click that subscribe button for me and check out the full.
That's crazy. The government will charge you for your lawn being too high.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
And now, guys, we're going to change a little bit different. So I want an engaging YouTube short channel. And then I found this guy, Michael Minelli. And I watch a lot of his videos because, you know, I'm into the music and stuff. But this guy's YouTube shorts are extra engaging. And I'll show you what I'm talking about off this one right here. Very engaging. Like, I wish when we went to New York, we saw something like this, okay?
All right.
What's up, bro? You rap? No, I sing though. Let me hear you sing then. Nice to meet you. My name is Michael Minelli. This is John.
Right. A little louder, my bad.
What's up, bro? You rap? No, I sing though. Let me hear you sing then. Nice to meet you. My name is Michael Minelli. This is Johnny Two Phones. We're looking for a feature, so I need you to go crazy. I'm gonna start it off and then you go.
Bet. Cool.
Girl, for you, I might
Tell the jeweler that I need a ring.
need a ring.
Blow the whole budget, break the pain. Girl, I might pop champagne.
Girl, for you, I might
Cut up all the strings that's attached.
cut 'em off.
Baby, only time we ever gonna have
Oh, word.
real love, put your name in the tap.
Girl, for you, I
You're on my mind, yeah. When my eyes can't see you, I just close them. So divine, the love of my life, yeah. When I pull you closer, can't control it, yeah. Baby, you're so damn fine. I can see it when I look in your eyes. You're not.
So this guy's, to me, when I saw, like, when it comes to like building an audience or just YouTube engagement, having random people come to your I don't know, your stage and sing, I think that's absolutely amazing. Like would you rap or sing on there?
Well, I don't rap or sing. I'd play my guitar though. I mean, I'd whatever. No, that's cool. That is really cool. I do follow a lot of musicians on Instagram and YouTube and stuff that actually do. There's this one guy, and I don't know his name, but I don't think you might not like it. It's probably not as good as that, but he's just a solo guitar player and he's playing an acoustic guitar, but he has a looping pedal and he does that song by Tommy Richmond, $1 Million Baby. Let me see if I can find. I'm gonna see if I send you the link. I think you'll like it.
Yeah.
It's a YouTube. But anyway, I love this guy. I like those types of, and this is organic and went viral. I mean, he's a local stock, because I looked into it and it had tons of hits. He just went and set up in the park and recorded it. Anyway, I'll send it to you. But yeah, I love that kind of stuff. And that the song $1 Million Baby, that whole song went viral itself, but I'm talking about somebody that did a cover of it. Anyway, I'll send it to you. But yeah, that's now you're in my wheelhouse. I love talking about yeah, here it is. Okay, I'm going to send this to you a private link. Or what?
And guys, remember, we're showing this type of stuff because one, it opens up the idea of how to market yourself, how to do things different, improve. Because for this channel, we're exposing scammers, talking about investments and money. But you're seeing this like from a music business related, perspective. This guy gets random people sing or rap, and he sings his hook. So we're talking about authentic content. Like this is like to me really, really, really good for YouTube.
Yeah, and I thought this was anyway. I sent it to you, but yeah, I agree. Authentic content's everything, and I just but yeah, those last guys were great, and invite somebody. I just think this guy's awesome.
I guess we're gonna check out this video here. $1 Million Baby, Tommy Richmond acoustic cover gets people dancing.
Anyway, you don't got to listen to the whole thing, but I just think this is awesome.
Yeah.
And this went viral. How many views did he have? I know maybe it's not that viral. I don't know, but I like
that's like more than 500,000 in this 10 months.
Dude, and that guy, and so anyway, I started following the performer himself, and he's a struggling songwriter from LA. That's the Rose Bowl, and they have a swap meet every Saturday. He just goes up and sets up at the swap meet and plays. Anyway, but yeah, no, I like him. I think that kid has a lot of balls to play that song. Tommy, I mean, that song is so high pitched. I don't know, how you sing it without sounding like a woman, which is fine. I'm not saying anything's wrong with sounding like a woman, but
I understand that. I mean, that to me, I can't sing or do this or music stuff, but this is really good. I mean, like his audience is like 61,000 subscribers, and he's pulling in a ton of views in a lot of these.
Yeah, that's it. He's he does cover songs. He does some other ones. This was my favorite one of his, but yeah, I'll put the link in the thing in case anyone else wants to watch it too. I think this guy's awesome. I mean,
I'll put that in there. If you guys want to check out the link, we'll put it into the chat.
I did.
So put it in this here. Yeah. And once again, guys, what is the topic on today's debate? We're actually going to get to it. We're actually talking about some light stuff today, music and stuff. And also our big discussion is this one right here, guys. So our big discussion today on the debate is tariffs. Now, a lot of these things that we are having some issues with, I mean, I'll say our politicians across the board having some issues with. I just wanted a different perspective. I think Kevin O'Reilly gives a very good business perspective versus these other people on CNN. So this is one of the core things of our today's debate and topic, guys. So let's actually check this out, okay?
What happens if we go into a full-scale trade war?
Look, it's really ugly. This president won the election based on reducing costs, but he's enacted the largest tax increase we've seen in over 50 years. And you know who's going to pay the price? Americans shopping at Walmart, Americans shopping at Costco. We don't know the purpose of these tariffs. The only thing we do know is he's planning on taking tax revenue from Americans paying more at Walmart and Costco and putting that into tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans. It's
interesting how he framed that. And now I'm not trying to be left-leaning or right-leaning at all, just to see that his perspective is immediately that all these tax cuts are to benefit the wealthy elite. Like, it's a very interesting perspective to me. So I wouldn't, because I'm trying to be neutral to see both standpoints. I'm not going to say I'm Republican. I'm not going to say I'm the Democratic. It doesn't matter. At this point, I want to see, why would he immediately attack that position?
Well, the one of his proposals when he was campaigning was a corporate tax cut and a tax cut for the wealthy, for business and for the higher people. He thinks that tax rate's too high. Anyway, so one of the ways we're going to pay for the tax rate is to bring in some extra money from tariffs. This guy's a liberal, and he's saying, heck, I don't want to pay extra at Costco, so Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos can only have to pay 35% instead of 40% or something. I mean, that's what the argument is. I'm not saying what side's right or wrong, but that's what the argument is. So we'll see. It's all just proposals at this time. The tariffs haven't raised a single dime, and the tax cuts are just proposals. So all this stuff is, still out there. So we'll see what happens. But I'm sure the tariffs will raise some money, and I'm sure the corporations will get a tax cut. So, we'll see. I'm just hoping we avoid a global recession in the meantime. I'm fine with the tax cut and all the other stuff, but just as long as we don't have a global recession, that's all. I think that's all I'm worried about.
A global recession, I mean, for people who have planned for it, but I think the vast majority are going to get really affected. But the other part about tax cuts that I think that many of the panelists on CNN or just across the board, you remember, these tax cuts are not just for one group of people. Anyone can read them and actually apply them if they build a business around that. Remember, they're not just distinct for one class of people. Anyone can use them. Kind of like an easy tax deduction you can use is like giving money to Goodwill, for example. Anyone can do that. It's not just for one group of people. So there's some that will be available for higher business tiers or different types of businesses. Some you want to research first prior than listening to people who say stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll see what you have to say, though.
Really gross, and it's putting us on the brink of a recession. It could cost us tons of manufacturing jobs as we get into this trade war. It's a really disturbing policy. I hope he backs off.
But Kevin, he said there's a lot of deals that they're literally kissing his ass was the phrase he used, very eloquently. Where are the deals?
104% tariffs on China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, sell it back here. Never has an administration.
400% tariff?
I do like this perspective, guys, when it comes to the tariffs and stuff. If these tariffs work and they force China to play on a level, even field, and then, because basically, if you guys do not know, Kevin O'Reilly has been talking about this for many, many years. China will basically see a product that's been doing really good in the States. They will manufacture that product and they'll steal their IP, steal their information, but resell it at a very cheaper price. And we really can't do that in the States, but over in China, you can. So it makes it very difficult. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just agreeing with you. I said, yeah, I agree. And I'm all for the China tariffs. I'm just not for tariffing Canada and Mexico. But I mean, China, of course. I mean, strategic tariffs, of course. And also because of the semiconductor, they make all the semiconductor chips. And because semiconductors run everything, and there's a situation of them maybe putting back doors into all their chips. I think people think they've already done this. Anyway, it's important for the United States to have their domestic semiconductor manufacturing business. So I think tariffs for that kind of stuff are great, for sure. And I'm sure, and the good thing is the 90 days will give us time to figure out the rest of them. But I think that's a no-brainer, the tariffs on China. But yeah, it is going to raise costs. But anyway, I think it's definitely something we should look at, and we are.
Let's see.
I want Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. It's just not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government.
We got a comment from Nomi Sunrider. Where is it at? Oh, my bad. Yes, this is correct. The U.S. government has banned the use of Supermicro's firmware on any government hardware. That's interesting that they ban this type of stuff. I mean, Kevin O'Reilly will bring this up. How come the CNN hosts don't bring up these type of points? I don't know if they have a bias.
We're just watching one clip. We're just watching one clip. I mean, so it could be, but and also the other thing is that here's the format for cable news. You get 3 minutes to make your point. They ask you 2 questions. He's going to ask Kevin O'Leary one question, the other guy one question, the other guy one question, and they each get about 1.5 minutes to make a point on a topic that's too complicated to come close to addressing in 1.5 minutes. But that's what I think we're doing a good job on. So in the comments, it said the ban was instituted by Obama. Now, and I thought also something with there was something in the CHIPS Act that Biden did somehow, and he nationalized something also. There was something in that act that had something to do with trying to bring the scientists back home or saying, I forget the details. But anyway, so yeah, I'm all for strategic tariffs. I think the across the board tariffs just scared the market too much. So hopefully we'll get, the tariff, everything should be negotiated, hopefully to a reasonable level. But China's a no-brainer. We need to keep the tariffs on them, I think. Yeah.
I wonder how he says 400%. That's going to be. I wonder how the markets would actually take that.
Well, it's going to hurt the markets. I'm hoping Trump, the art of the deal. Let's hope he can negotiate it down to some lower level. You always start out high. That's always the way negotiations. Both sides ask for something they know they aren't going to get. When it comes down, hopefully it'll be something we can all live with. But Kevin O'Leary's right. I mean, they do rip off our IP, and there's a lot of strategic reasons to tariff China or to look into tariffing China for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. We got a little bit more, but this
cheats and steals, and finally, an administration. You may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric. Finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. Xi can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39% of all consumables on Earth and 25% of the world's GDP, America is the #1 economy on Earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well, hold on a second, Kevin. Well, I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people, the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe, can they withstand the pressure of that sort of tax on the goods?
Short-lived. There will be.
But what's your timeline compared to, you don't know the average American's timeline, what they can actually survive. There's people right now who can't survive.
400% tomorrow morning, cheese on an airplane to Washington to cut a deal.
What do you think?
Here's the thing, though. This is the perfect example of, I understand how it would benefit you, but that's not what the American people voted for. They voted because Trump said within 24 hours, costs will come down.
Trump supporters, by the way, you're talking about.
Well, Trump said that and there were people in the middle who said, okay, I'm going to vote for that. He also said he'd end the wars. That's not happening. We still have.
In the wars, I mean, I would say there was more. What was that peace deal they did with Ukraine? Russia did the peace deal for was it 30 days or so? I don't know if you guys want to quote me on that, but I saw that on the news and on the White House forum. They're talking about there's an actual peace deal being communicated. So it may not be done within his first couple of months, but it's something better. I think it's pretty interesting that there's something being done about this war.
Well, I got one for you. And plus, Zelensky's belligerent and he won't cooperate with Trump. I'll give you that. My friends that are Trumpers say that it's Zelensky's fault. Okay, that's fine. But I'll give you that one. But you know what Trump could solve, I think, tomorrow is the war in Israel. I really think he does have the power to tell those guys just to knock it off. And we aren't, I mean, but anyway, that's what I would really like to see. I think the Russia-Ukraine deal may kind of be a lost cause. It may be a little, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, but yeah, he did say day one, but that's just when you campaign, you say everything.
Yeah.
You know, you say all kinds of stuff. I mean, so remember Biden campaigned on getting us back to normal in 2020. I'm going to get us back to normal and restore the soul of the country or whatever. Well, it didn't get us back to normal. It was different. It was a different kind of weird, but it was, so yeah, you just, you almost have to. When I hear a politician talk, I assume they're lying.
Oh, we got actually a guy who joined the stream. Color commentary. Okay. Give me a second. You're on mute. Unmute. Can you hear us?
Yes. Good evening, gentlemen. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. How's my volume levels? I haven't been on stream in a while.
Doing really good. I can hear you perfectly.
Perfect. You know, I do I'm not trying to do a shameless plug, but I do a podcast on YouTube based around Miami Dolphins content, and I've been doing it for a few years now, but I still, for some reason, felt stage fright coming up on your stream.
Don't worry, man.
You never lose it. You know what I mean? When you meet new people, you never ever lose it.
Yeah. Just no pressure stuff. We're just talking about, earlier on the pod, we're talking about lighter topics about business and money, like advertising and stuff. But now,
right. Yeah. So I was actually I'm the one going by Know Me Sunrider in your chat.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I didn't because of my channel, and my content for the Finn's Tailgate. I don't, I'd rather go on these channels with a different, avatar. But either case, I just happen to have a lot of information for just coincidentally because of the line of work I used to be in regarding the whole IC module industry and the dynamics involved. And I think it's quite interesting how a lot of what's being overlooked here is this has a lot to do with silicone. I believe that silicone is becoming it's not going to take the place of, but it's becoming almost as important as in our societies as oil. Wow. And because those little IC modules, the little chips that go on memory, RAM chips, flash memory, just semiconductors in general, they're made out of silicone. So what happened recently, and this all, believe it or not, the part that everybody I think has been forgetting about or missing as far as the media talk and what they talk about is how much this has to do with those silicone mines in Taiwan. Because the whole dynamics between what we're willing to do to protect Taiwan's sovereignty and all that has every bit to do with those mountains of silicone that line the island of Taiwan. Okay. And because we're all about, just like with our oil, we are all about using everybody else's resources before we have to use ours. We have a huge surplus and supply of silicone right here in the United States. We even have a place called Silicon Valley where the whole tech boom was born out of. And so what happened recently was a whole bunch of, because of different politics and whatever else over the last few years, starting earlier than Obama, but including Obama, leading into Trump's first year, then Biden, companies have basically gotten huge incentives for moving their factories over to Taiwan. Memory companies like Kingston, American companies, Kingston, SanDisk, and even Micron had the opportunity to. So that what would happen is not only would they be able to take advantage of cheap mining of silicone over there and the tax benefits of not having be in our country, what would happen is obviously that would put the door in. What's the first thing we try to do to try to Americanize or Westernize certain areas? We we send in our businessmen. You know what I mean? We build McDonald's and all these other things. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it had to do with. So there was a lot of incentive for these companies. The most recent being Kingston, who moved all of their operations over to Taiwan, even though they're still considered an American-made memory. And Kingston I would estimate, is probably Micron's biggest competitor on the big stage. Micron, however, decided to take the hit because they know the product they have, they know how valuable it is, and they stayed here. They kept all their factories in America. They kept doing business in America. So number one, you have the dynamic of the real issue behind the hot conflict between Taiwan, China, and the United States, and those dynamics. You have the need for silicone, but you also have the fact that when it comes to President Trump, he knows that we have the upper hand when it comes to the actual demand for silicone. We can do the same thing we did back in the day with the oil reserves and just open up the pipelines. You know what I mean? So, and that would net benefit a company like Micron, who decided to stay here. You know what I mean? And all that. Now you also enter in the newer dynamic with these tariffs. I don't know what's scheduled for Taiwan. I know they're one of our quote unquote allies, so I'm sure they're already coming to the table and looking for, to get out of all that and whatever else. But in the meantime, if they end up taking on any kind of extra tax, that means that American companies like Kingston or whoever else sent their factories over there will now become exporters to us for the product that is already labeled American made, and they will have to incur that tariff. Guess who won't have to incur the tariff? Micron. So there are some companies in this whole situation that are positioned quite well to take advantage of the whole tariff situation. This isn't the end of the world when it comes to the overall markets and all that. But at the same time, when it comes to those to the IC modules, the other thing that Micron, they actually had a windfall back when I first dabbled in the market many moons ago. I've followed Micron because I'm a gamer, and I mean I was a gamer growing, in my younger days, and I build machines, and I'm a tech guy. You know what I mean? I'm a IT engineer, so I've always been, it's been my favorite. Like they make the best IC modules on the planet, and they're really known for that. You know what I mean? So when I buy RAM, I buy one of Micron's brands, their flagship being Crucial. But anyway, that aside, when it comes to the government stuff, and I don't know how much, I guess I don't know how much, I try to say this without saying too much because I really don't even know. I haven't worked for the company in a long time, so I don't really know. And I didn't sign no NDAs or anything, but I don't really know how much I can say, but I'll say what I know is okay. In that when I was working for them, I was responsible for changing out high-end VPN and IPsec tunnel routers for various different establishments. Okay. And these routers are like, I'm not going to name the brand, but they're one of your high-end brands that you have to spend a lot of money on, and and they kind of work more with enterprise services and all that kind of stuff. But we had one of the particular models we had, there was this I was working for them for a couple of years. And then one day, this was I believe it was during the end of the Obama administration. All of a sudden they had shipped us out this other model of the same exact router, but it had a different serial number, and it had a G on the end of the serial number. And we were ordered, do not ever use this as a replacement on any other site that's not a government site. And also, if you're on a government site, do not use any other router that doesn't have this G designation. And we were told and everybody knew it was public information, so this is nothing I'm divulging. Everybody knew that there was an issue with Chinese firmware, And they had that company that made those routers had both. They had Chinese firmware models and they also had American-made firmware models from Micron. So the government basically banned, at that point when the ban of Chinese firmware happened on all government hardware, most of the government hardware, those routers I know for a fact because I was able to see their operating system from an operating system level, that those routers actually, their chips, their firmware was actually made by Micron. So I know that Micron does have a huge contract with the government as far as providing the IC modules for government hardware. So like I said, there's it's a way bigger issue than people realize with this whole silicone thing. And that's all I wanted to kind of contribute to your discussion.
Hey, I got a question. Can I ask a question real quick? I heard that I heard North Carolina had a bunch of silicone. I heard we could get that domestically too, but there's different.
We have it everywhere. It's basically quartz.
Okay, yeah. But anyway, I heard there's different purities and there's high quality stuff in North Carolina. I guess.
Sure. If you add more manganese to it, it becomes amethyst.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
Wow. This is actually something interesting to get into more because, we're just hearing different parts of how the tariffs, or since Trump became president, I'm learning more about different parts of the markets that I've never been exposed to. Hearing about silicon, I was never interested into silicon until either right now and watching this video with him talking about the chips. And also, what is it? What is it called?
Really quick. I'm sorry to interrupt, Andre. Really quick before you start playing it, there's a question in the comment from Max Convexivity. I'm sorry, Convexity.
That's me. I'm the guy. I'm the other guy.
Oh, that's your question.
Yeah,
can they put kind of backdoor in those IC modules? Absolutely. And Super Micro in particular, I believe, was found to have done that. That's what initiated the government ban on Chinese firmware.
So we were talking about the same thing, basically. I put that in the comments.
I was expanding on what you were talking about. Correct.
Yeah. Well, and I had no idea what I was talking about. I just heard that somewhere. But anyway, you explained it perfectly. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for contributing.
Now, I wouldn't be concerned about it. I actually have a Super Micro gaming motherboard from back in the day, and I love it. I think it was a great motherboard, still is, and I don't do anything with that machine. So it's have at it, China, if you really want to know what I'm doing with that dummy machine. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we just don't want them being able to disable our military grade equipment and stuff and our power plants.
Exactly.
So
a Panasonic Toughbook is not going to have Chinese firmware anymore.
I hear you. Those TOs, those electronic TOs.
Do what?
You guys don't. Oh, never mind. This one I was in the military. Those toughbooks, but let's get into a little bit more. We got a little bit more for this, guys. Remember, if you guys want to join the stream, the link is in the StreamYard chat or in the chat so you guys can join. You don't have to show your face, and that's fine. We can watch a little bit more, see what Kevin O'Reilly has to say.
Yeah, trust me, my logo looks much better than my face.
Yesterday, gas prices are not down. Rent, groceries, prices are not down. And when people are looking what's happening in the markets and they see the uncertainty and they see their 401ks, I had to listen to my mom talk about her investments on Sunday and she's nervous. I get it. On top of that, though, don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have a vote on a budget that is going to be also another series of cuts for the American people and a little bit of gamesmanship, as you were saying, so that we can.
What I think that she doesn't understand, and this is where I think that most Americans have not seen, the American debt clock. If you have not been to debtclock.org to see how much we're spending, we need cuts. This is how it is. We need cuts across the board. We're spending too much. We're getting too much in debt, and it's basically blossoming too much. Actually, I'll bring this up for the guys who have not seen it. Color, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Give me a second. Have you seen the U.S. debt clock before?
Maybe years ago. I think I've seen it on occasion. I do remember one time they had apparently they had spent like $600,000 on a photo op of Air Force One flying next to the Statue of Liberty, and it's like you could have done that with $900 Photoshop. You know what I mean? What are you doing?
So it's crazy that I tell people, despite if you like Doge or not, at least Doge is identifying bad spending practices across the board. I mean, when you go to the Doge website, they show a whole list of bad spending. And if you're a taxpayer or you're an American citizen, you should be concerned in how they spend our money. And if you look at the U.S. debt clock, you see how it's ticking really, really quickly for like debt per citizen, debt per taxpayer.
Well, I would say there's a lot more modules than there used to be back the last time I looked at it. Wow.
It's crazy. Like, I just tell you like this, despite if it's Trump, despite who's the president, we need an internal audit. This is like across the board. We can't fix our budget unless we know where we're spending, how we're spending. So it either is going to be Doge or some type of internal problem. We still need to cut back on government spending. And it sucks. Everyone's going to be affected. Jobs are going to be lost, or I'm sorry, most likely government jobs and contracts are going to be lost. So it just has to happen. We're spending too much money. Like, look at how fast the debt clock is running. That's crazy. But we'll see what she says about this.
Sort of pay for the tax cuts for folks like Kevin. Then we've also got Doge, and we've got the impact that the Doge cuts and the cuts in jobs are actually having on economies around the country. So it's when you layer all that together. And I think what you saw over last weekend is people don't want to wait anymore. People are angry. I mean, we saw incredible turnout over the weekend in rallies all across the country. We're seeing it in the polls. People are frustrated.
I want to bring this into real terms as well. I mean, I'm an everyday person. I'm going to tell you that right now. And so when I think about how much things cost, I want to know things I'm going to afford or not afford. Listen to what somebody who's a furniture store owner in Kansas had to say about, say, the price of a sofa.
With the 54%, if we sell a sofa for $1,000, we will have to sell it for $1,299. And if it's 104%, then that sofa will be over $2,000. I don't think they can afford it.
Zolan, that's a real thing.
No.
What's that?
I didn't realize people were lining up down the road for new sofas. I didn't realize that was the most important thing in life.
I understand that. Like, I just tell you, like, this problem isn't to me, it's not a Trump problem, it's not a Biden problem, it's not an Obama problem. This has been a government problem of just overspending.
Sure, but even the example that CNN is using, you see how contrived they are?
Yeah.
They're bringing up sofa costs. Like, anybody that's in the market for a sofa that's going to buy one outright for $1,200 probably can afford $2,000 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, are we seriously talking about an $800 difference for sofas is the most important thing that's hurting Americans?
The biggest thing that's hurting Americans.
I guess a month or two ago, the other side brought up eggs. Now there's something that hurts the average American.
Yeah.
Sofas? Like, I'm supposed to have sympathy for this guy?
Gas is a big one. I remember, what was it? Was it the first year or was it the second year of Biden? Gas was like at $5 to $6.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to me, and this is maybe it's just because we're on CNN. All the news is like attacking Trump for doing anything and everything, just because. I mean, he's been president for what, 2 months and some change, right?
That's kind of what I'm pointing out, and it becomes so obvious over the years when they're bringing up sofas. Like, you had to reach for sofas to pick on the president.
Yeah, I mean, and this time around, to me, like when the first time Trump was president, I thought it was kind of okay. But now, his first 2 months and some change, this is dramatic change. Like, this is like a completely different person. Like, the amount of things that he's doing. Like, I think the best thing so far that I've seen is Doge. And if you go to Doge's website, you can see everything that they're highlighting that's like a holy crap spending. Like,
I was expecting it, but I still am shocked by its speed.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen anything like this. I'm 48 years old. I've never seen anything like this.
Especially
we've been living for this for our whole lives, man. We've been waiting for this.
And then what I do find interesting is how the news has been portraying, like when they're not attacking the argument and they're just attacking the character of Elon Musk or Trump. I'm like, listen, isn't it kind of odd that we're paying a lease on a government building for millions of dollars and no one's in there? Isn't that weird? Why are we paying this lease? Why are we just donating hard-earned Americans' money away? And this is and you're going to talk about Elon Musk's kids? Come on now, like let's get to the root of the problem. We have a spending habit. We have a spending problem.
$2,000 couch as opposed to what they thought they were going to spend?
Yeah, that means higher prices for average Americans. And by the way, that's what Republicans in Congress right now are also worried about here. Hearing from their constituents at town halls and as the weeks go by, if consumer prices go up, that economic frustration then turning into political backlash against them and the administration.
But Kevin's point is that it's short-lived. What's your reaction?
Well, I mean, it's up to debate whether it's actually going to be short-lived at this point. Consumer prices going up. Again, economists say U.S. importers do pay the price of tariffs. That then goes down to the consumer. Also, one thing that is consistent right now is uncertainty. There's uncertainty right now. And this gamble that the administration is doing that the average American will be able to weather through any type of economic frustration is bet on the idea that you'll then have investment in American manufacturing. Tough to pair investment with uncertainty.
So where does consumer confidence factor into all this?
He lost me at what? He lost me right at the point he tried to make the correlation for the price of sofas with the average effect on Americans and how it makes them feel. Right out of the gate. Everything he said after that was completely invalid.
Interesting. I wonder, because like, have you seen?
And most average people will miss that part, that very first part that he said. I don't know if you can find the exact spot when he first started, but he started off with a fallacy, which means everything he said after that is pseudo intellectualism.
On the idea that you'll then have investment in the average American will be able to weather through.
A little bit further earlier than that.
On the idea is uncertain.
No, it's earlier than the uncertainty part.
Consumer. Also,
right here.
This go up that economic. And by the way, that's what
a little bit earlier. Yep, you're almost there. Yep. There you go.
They thought they were going to spend?
Yeah, that means higher prices for average Americans. And by the way, that's
okay. Pause right there. There's the fallacy he started with right there, and most average people would have completely missed it. How does when you're talking about people that are in a market for a new couch right now, given the circumstances that we're all facing, that is not an average American. So she started with the cost of couches going up, and he followed with, this is an example of why it affects the average American. The average American's needs are not all imported. Most of our average needs are made and retailed right here in America. I shop at a place called Publix. I don't know if you're from the Southeast. Yeah. Okay.
I've been there.
Okay. Their headquarters is in Lakeland, Florida. Every product they have in their store that's branded by them comes from Lakeland, Florida. Their eggs, their milk, everything. They have their own farms, all of that. So I don't know how a tariff on Canadian whatever geese feathers, how that's going to affect me as an American.
I think that when they're applying that couch price, and then I think that a better example would have been eggs, milk, cheese.
But they don't have those examples right now because those examples are coming down in price. That's my point. CNN doesn't have those examples to go to. So everything he said after that is invalid because of the premise that they're standing on, the price of couches.
And then what is if you had to put into an average American's lifetime?
That's what I'm saying, Andre. I would have assumed, great question. I know where you're leading with this.
Yep.
I would have assumed already that if I was going to buy a couch right now, even if we were in 1989, I would have assumed I'm going to spend $2,000. I'm not buying a couch for less than $2,000. If I'm buying a new couch, the one I have is perfectly fine. If I'm buying a new couch, it's out of pure hubris, it's an egregious purchase right now. And if I'm going to make an egregious purchase, it's going to be full of down feathers and it's going to massage my feet for me. So it's going to cost more than $2,000 anyway.
And then you have to think about it. If you apply that same perspective, if a person has an additional $2,000 to spend for a couch, that's to say most likely you have additional money. So that person is not going to be
disposable income, right?
Yeah. Because then, I mean, with today's market, people are losing their jobs. And remember, they just said people are losing their government jobs, which is a part of the job market in a sense. But if people are losing their jobs, I think the last purchase would be a couch.
Exactly. Or even if we're facing all this uncertainty, as he puts it, then why am I worried about a couch?
Yeah, I think if they said, I think the best price for them, if they had to say, would be gas. Like if they said electricity is X, Y, and Z in the same position, that would hit everyone harder. Because I would say rent, electricity, energy, and food are probably the three biggest things that we spend on, like the average person. Like takes up the majority of our income.
Ironically, really quick, just to finish up before you get going again. Ironically, the only thing I've really noticed that smacked me in the face today, as a matter of fact, because I just paid my bill, is my cellular phone bill. It shot up $30 from last month to this month, and I haven't looked at the bill to see why, because I have unlimited everything, so there's no overages or anything. And so I'm thinking, wait a minute. Oh, what's most cellular companies' flagship phone? Samsung, with Samsung IC modules in them. From where?
Most likely Taiwan, right? That's something I'm going to research on there, because when I was looking, when you were talking about it, I was like, I did not know Taiwan has one of the largest plants in the world for silicon in Taiwan. I'm like, why? It's kind of weird. It's not something that's actually came out to the forefront of my.
Yeah, and I think that was before Kingston moved there.
Well, let's see. We almost passed the hour, guys. We're going to skip a little bit and to get to our main point where Kelly.
Sorry, Andre. Now you know why I do a show, because I'm a talker, man.
That's cool, man.
One of the largest economies on earth saying, okay, we get the joke. You want to sell cars? You want to sell a Corvette in Berlin? We're okay at zero. We've never had that before. So let's call that a huge win. We haven't done the deal yet, but let's get the German people over here to start negotiating that. Agriculture in Britain will go to 0 on 0. Canada, we'll love to do energy 0 on 0. So that's a huge win for him. Huge.
This is crazy. If this actually happens across the board, let's say hypothetically, everyone but China goes to 0 to 0, will they give him his win? I highly doubt it, because CNN saying something positive about President Trump is very rare, extremely rare.
Well, I can already predict that they won't, simply because of this little factoid that I really want to point out if I say any other thing tonight. Did everybody forget? I know young people probably don't know about it, but did all of us old heads forget that Bill Clinton imposed a 100% tariff on Japanese automobiles?
Ooh, wow.
And everybody wanted to build a statue for him for it.
Interesting. Because I watched a clip before this, the one I was going to use. It showed Nancy Pelosi back in the 90s with Bill Clinton talking about the tariffs, how we should be jacking up tariffs now because of the differences in trade balances.
Hey, exactly, and she had a visual aid to point out all of the stuff that Trump's been saying. The exact numbers are the same.
It's crazy that they are. I mean, I know it's all politics and they're just trying to look out for themselves. But
doesn't it get to a point of ridiculousness, though? Like, okay, we understand politics, but dang, man, how do we just excuse that double standard?
Well, if I have to make a simple guess, the American public don't know the difference, and they just see these politicians and they just believe them. Because I actually made a video about this, and this is why I don't talk about politics so much, because the majority of Americans don't follow politics and they don't follow money. I'll give you guys an example. It's boring. I know it's boring, guys. That's why I try not to talk about it very much. But I made an entire video about this, and this is where I made it in December.
I'll have to watch that one. By the way, you do a great job. I love your content, man. You do a great job, man.
Thank you so much. Because I tell you, like, so here's the first video. I showed an example of a government website. I'm sorry, a website showing how all our politicians, and literally, when I mean almost every single politician that's voted into office has millions of dollars. They go from making $100,000 a year, and their net worth is blossoming because they're outperforming Warren Buffett, all the S&P. They're the best traders in the world, but you can't beat them in trading.
And that's why a lot of our founders tried to create a system that made it cost prohibitive, so that you would only have rich people running for office. And that may seem counterintuitive to what you're saying, but what actually they were expecting was, if you go in rich, you don't need to get rich.
I'll say, unless you want more.
Well, there's that aspect of being rich that obviously everybody wants more, but that's nothing that they could have predicted in their time. You know, they were in a different paradigm.
I know. I watched this video of how to fix the American government in 5 steps. Like, it said term limits. Second thing would be all people who are voted, like senators and also representatives, all get paid the medium. All get paid the I'll find the video. But just to go back to the initial point, guys, if you want to find a senator that talks about, if you want to find someone in Congress who talks about the actual budget, watch this video here. Without my commentary, the link's right here. It shows you the exact breakdown of, we need someone like Trump or somebody in office to fix what's happening. Because tariffs-wise, we need some change. Because what we're going to, basically, we're going to be defaulting by 2035 without any change at all. I do not want to be in a position where America is defaulted. Like, that is going to be horrible for our currency. Ugh, where's it at? Let's go back to here.
He hasn't even taken advantage of it yet. I thought, Kevin, part of it, I'm curious from your perspective, and everyone, if one of the biggest assets of a negotiation is leverage, if he has said they're here to stay, does that remove some of the ability for him to negotiate in the long run with these countries?
Well, I'm trying to differentiate between the trade non-parity. For example, you talk about Thailand. I have a company that makes greeting cards. Hewlett-Packard laser cutters making greeting cards in Thailand because labor is cheap, and we FedEx them every day here. They only have an economy of 35 billion, and the deficit is 200 billion. That country will never have trade parity with us. It's too small. But we can go to zero tariffs with them. And I'm telling you, there's a difference between getting everybody at 0 on 0, which is free trade, basically.
I wonder, because guys, I know we're running past our time limit, but this is interesting, because if you guys watch the rest of the video, I encourage you to watch it. When he talks about everyone going to 0, it seems like that would be such a big win for Trump that they do not want that, despite if it's going to be helpful for the country or not. Like, this kind of blows my mind that they get to this point where it's not helpful. Like, it's like, let's fight Trump on every single level without even knowing the context. Like, hey, if he says, hey, free healthcare, no, we don't want it. Or if he says, hypothetically, we're gonna make gas prices $1, no, we don't want it. They'll fight every single thing just because it's attached to Trump, good or bad, you know? Yeah, guys.
Sure.
That's the stream. Let me see. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, hanging out with Max and also Color.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for. If you guys want to join the stream next week, we'll be streaming the exact same time. We'll be going for about an hour. Next time, we'll figure out the topics. I actually made a blended topic this week. We did food. I think advertising food is one of the best things. Oh my God. I love, if you follow my Instagram, I watch a bunch of food stuff. And also when it comes to YouTube, check out this channel here, SB Mowing. SB Mowing is I'd say one of the best YouTubers when it comes to YouTube Shorts. Very entertaining. And actually the one that Max said, where's that channel you said?
What? Oh, I don't know the dude's name. It's in the comments if somebody wants to look at it. He's
AV Sheck.
Yeah, really Avi. That's right. Avi Sheck. Exactly. That's right. He's actually pretty good.
Yeah, really cool. I like that. And I tell you, like, with this very crazy economy, finding extra ways to make income without trading, because everybody wants to be a millionaire when it comes to trading. I tell them the statistics are not in your favor. try to do something to make income that doesn't, risk so much. Because with margin trading, you can lose your account plus some. There's a video that I showed you guys earlier. It's called by Miss Taffy. Miss Taffy turned, I think, $3 to $126 right here. Yeah, $3 to $125 in one day by flipping some stuff she found at a garage sale or a yard sale. I think this is a whole lot more viable than actually finding trades to flip your account from $1,000 or stuff like this. So people say make $500 a day trading. This is not possible for the majority. But if you flip $3 to $125 or $3 to $50 at a garage sale because you find some good things on discount, I think that makes more sense and more possible for the average American. You guys any input on that?
I agree. I hadn't really thought about it.
Yeah, I tell people, I go through so many, I look at so many YouTube channels that talk about, like this guy, $200 to $400 in trading. How often does that happen? I don't think very often. Doubling your money in a day?
Yeah.
Yeah, not without the risk tolerance to be able to do it, which means what the only thing you're going to cure risk tolerance with is a bigger bankroll.
Nope. And most people today don't have a lot of money. We're losing jobs. I think that if you go to a garage sale, just an example, guys, or start a YouTube channel or start an Instagram feed or Instagram and you're selling food, come on now. This is like one of the easiest ways to make money. Make a burger like this and you'll see me come by any day. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, guys, we'll see you guys on the next weekly stream. And thanks for hanging out with us. Peace.
All right, Andre. Thanks. Have a good one, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man, that was fun.